On Prospect Boss's channel, we are interviewing Joanna Wyckoff. Is that how you say it?
Wyckoff,
Wyckoff?
Wyckoff. Like Wyckoff when you can sneeze.
Okay. And she is the owner of Top Flight Insurance Agency.
Mhm.
And could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm a U.S. Air Force veteran. I started started my career in the insurance industry at Social Security Administration. I worked for Social Security for 9.5 years. And then I got licensed while I was still at Social Security. Nobody really tells you what getting licensed does or anything, but it was pitched to me to have like an extra job on a Saturday to pay off my master's student loan. And so I said, hey, if I could make $1,000 on a Saturday, that's like, pay off my Sally Mae in like a year, 2 years instead of 10, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so I got my license and I didn't, you don't know what you don't know. And I was at what I call a starter company. And I struggled to learn the sales process of life insurance and stuff, but I kept attending their meetings and everything. And one day, Summer, we were talking about how you meet people at a conference and stuff. Another agent there said, you should sell Medicare. I said, I could sell Medicare? She said, yeah. She's like, I sell for United Healthcare and I set up a table at some health fairs and make a couple sales a day. I said, sign me up. And that was in 2017. And it was a long learning curve because once again, that you don't know what you don't know. And I thought, doing the certifications would teach me everything. And Medicare is massive and there's so much to learn. And nobody tells us, Summer, that our job first is marketing, not insurance. And I learned that very, very so that's how I started. So 2017, I got licensed in 2016, started Medicare very, very slowly in 2017. And then in 2019, I quit my federal job. August 31st, 2019, I quit the federal job, walked away, and I've been self-employed ever since. And my daily job is to stay self-employed and not have to go back and answer anybody's schedule. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I saw on your website, I was checking out that you spent 4 years in active duty in the Air Force. You were in F-16 avionics journeyman,
Yeah.
and that's where you learned the discipline and determination to accomplish any goal. So that seems really true about you being started self-motivating, and I know that leaving a government job is hard. Once most people get one, they're just there, until
Scary, because
yeah.
you get comfortable with the knowing that next Friday a paycheck is coming,
Yeah, exactly.
It's the scariness of walking away from benefits,
Hmm.
retirement. And then like I said, I was new to sales. I know policy, right?
Hmm.
But learning sales was the hardest thing for me because like I guess it's hard to teach.
Yeah.
And it was hard for me to pick up. But once I learned that I'm not selling you anything, I'm just helping you educate you and help you make a decision on what's right for you. Like it started clicking and things started like moving.
Yeah, of course.
Mm.
So you said did you start with insurance and then you switched to Medicare?
Yeah,
Is
I
it?
started in life insurance, like
Okay, life
mortgage
insurance.
protection and final expense.
Okay.
Mhm. And especially like when you're working part time, I was calling my leads like Thursday evening for Saturday
Yeah.
to drive 2, 3 hours away to run them. And somebody's gonna no show you, and someone's gonna say I can't afford it, and someone's gonna have current cancer, and
Yeah.
it was hard, especially to do part time. And when I found out about Medicare, and I already knew the federal side of it, I was like, it just made sense that everybody turning 65 needs Medicare. They have
Hmm.
to make a decision. So it's not like they can tell me that they don't want it or can't afford it because there's plans out there that are zero cost, and I can actually help people get Medicaid and stuff as well. Whereas, people with life insurance, they have to want to afford it, right? It's not
Yeah.
so they have to want to afford it. So yeah, that's why I love selling health insurance overall because it's it's a different mentality. They need it. They want because it's for them right now, right?
Yeah, I could see that definitely being a little easier than doing life insurance because everybody really sees the value in that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have your own company. Do you have agents working underneath you or with
Yep.
you?
Yep. So I started Top Flight. I was running a different company for a couple of years. I was the vice president of a different company, and I I decided one day the only way I'm going to get to where I want to go is if I'm the one driving the steering wheel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to start my own agency, Top Flight Insurance. And I came up with the name, is a salute to my Air Force history and everything, Top Flight. And Top Flight means the top of the best, the top, the elite. And so I recruited agents. The agents usually, come to me because they need help and they're not getting it from somewhere else. Um, and so I have, I don't know, probably over 100 agents right now. Um, and we're growing and, we're building infrastructure and I'm looking for more managers. Because it's you can't grow alone, so I'm trying to grow slower, so I can make sure that each agent has exactly what they need out of me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow, 100 agents. That's really great. So what do you think sets your company, Top Flight Insurance Agency, apart from other Medicare agencies?
And that's a great question because there's so many out there. When I got started in the industry, Summer, the person I thought was going to train me, she just got me contracted, and then I was on my own. I didn't know how to do anything. And, agents come to me every day, and, I hear it every day in the Facebook groups is I don't know how to do this. I don't have anybody to call. My upline doesn't answer the phone. They don't respond to my emails. I don't know how to do this. And agents, if they don't know how to do it, a lot of them are not self-starters or they just need a little bit of direction, you know? And so I believe in training the agent first. We do heavy training. I do live training twice a week. And I actually teach them not just Medicare, but how to build a business because back in 2017, nobody told me I should have started an LLC. They said, oh, you don't need that. You can wait years for that. You don't need that right now, right? But hello, I got eaten up in taxes, and nobody told me just the business principles of running a business. I ran my entire business off my cell phone. Well, you know what happens after a couple of years and a couple hundred clients? Your cell phone's blowing up on a Saturday, Sunday night while you're trying to sleep,
Yeah.
Nobody told me the business principles like getting a VOIP or, just those things. So I teach the business principles too, not just the Medicare.
Mhm.
And, at the end of the day, if it wasn't for the agents that partner with me, I wouldn't have a top flight job to service other agents. I would just be selling myself. And honestly, it's a lonely world just selling by yourself. It's kind of boring. So I learn from my agents too, because they bring me cases that I might not have seen before, so I get to research that and help them. But what sets us apart is, we're truly partnered with the agent. If they win, I win. So I'm more incentivized to help them win, right? Instead of just letting them sit there and try to struggle. Like,
Yeah.
why would I bring you on, spend hours, contracting you and not help you learn how to sell? I don't
Right.
understand why uplines do that because we are paid very nicely
Mhm.
to help an agent sell. It doesn't come out of their check. It comes out of the carrier's money, but I never understood that. And so I like to pour fuel on the fire. I'm flying into Las Vegas to field train an agent in a couple weeks. I'm driving down to Florida next week to field train, 5 agents. I believe in giving them the hands-on training that they need and deserve when they choose me,
Yeah.
And I feel like that just sets us apart. That and I'm a writing agent too, so I've done it before and I still do it. And like if someone says, hey, how do I do this? I can easily go and show them how to do it. I've done Zoom trainings 10 o'clock on a Sunday night. Like, I mean, if you're working, I feel like I should be able to help you work too, because I'm gonna
Yeah.
earn money, and an agent calls me on a Sunday night and says, hey, Joanna, I'm in a house, I need help. All I hear is cha-ching, so I'm gonna help you.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, the most successful people are definitely dedicated and don't mind working late or answering the phone, traveling, and yeah, the live training is a good idea because I know I learn better hands-on versus
Mhm.
just watching a bunch of classes on the computer or something. So yeah, I could see how that definitely separates Shopify apart from everyone else. What are the top 5 things new Medicare agents can do to be successful right out of the gate?
Right out of the gate. So do all of your certifications as soon as you get them, and then go meet the carriers. They usually have live or video training, and meet them. Become friends with your broker manager. Yesterday, I attended a regional conference, and all of my broker managers were there, and we shook hands, and we had lunch together and stuff, and just building that relationship. And my Humana manager, Summer, he came over and sat next to me, and he's like, Joanna, I heard you got your own new agency. I want to help you. I said, okay. He's like, we're going to do lunch. I want to be strategic in my help with you. And I was like, I said, Rusty, it kind of upsets me because I know you don't get paid on my agents out in California and New York and stuff. He's like, no, 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 it's about helping you. He's like, I've been writing the last couple of years, and even though you've been training agents, you still are a really strong writer, and I want to make sure I continue to help you so you have all the tools you need to succeed. And that was really nice. And when you build relationships with your broker managers, guess who has the purse strings to the wallet of the carrier? It's the broker manager. So my broker managers have come to me before and said, hey, Joanna, you've written some business with us and we need more business. We'll give you some cash to go buy leads or to do events or marketing, however you want to do it, to get us more business. And it's easier to ask them for money with a business plan if they know who you are and you've met them before and you show respect and everything, than never go into anything and then saying, hey, Summer, I would like $10,000 to write you some business. And they're like, who are you? you know so attend all of your carrier training. Like, one of the companies has a unique platform that if our quote and enroll system is down, you have to use. And I've noticed that a lot of agents don't know how to use their system because they've never attended their training. And they hold the webinar every week, Summer. So I'm like, why haven't you attended the webinar? It's not my job to teach you how to do WellCare's training on their platform. They do it every week. you know so attend the training, ask questions, find a decent mentor. If it's not me, find somebody else who actually answers the phone, who actually knows how to write the business. You don't want someone, I think a lot of agents think that when they get the head honcho of a big company, they won the lottery. Oh, I'm direct to the president of, IMO. He's not going to have the time to answer your phone call on a Sunday afternoon. He has 10,000 agents,
Yeah.
So find someone who has the capacity to train you. And I didn't ask any of those questions when I was new. I was just like, oh, I just have to get certified and I can go sell. Nobody told me that Medicare was really complicated. I saw somebody on Facebook say, I don't need anybody to answer my phone calls. I just need, the access to the contracts. I was like, honey, you don't even know. Like, I worked for the federal government and I still had a million questions afterwards because it's a complicated product and there's so many different moving parts. Um, so I would say that I would attend conferences. I love conferences. Maybe if your financials drop, not attend them right away. But I meet other brokers and get ideas for marketing and stuff by attending conferences. Yesterday, I was exchanging ideas with a broker that's local with me. He's not my competition. He's not even like, he's like, I don't know, 3 hours away. But he was telling me how he called on corporate companies and built relationships with human resources and got business that way. And I was like, I should do more of that, right? And so that's where you're going to find out different ideas from people who are not just in the company that you are contracted with.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, you never know who you're gonna meet at conferences or just out about the industry, and it's always good to make friends and get to know people, and you never know what kind of advice that they're gonna have for you.
exactly.
Okay, so do your agents do telesales in home or in-home appointments, and why? So do they telesales, or do they, travel face to face?
I have agents that do every type of business however they want, COVID in 2020 kind of changed the game. A lot of people were either telesales only or field sales only, and then a lot of people started doing hybrid of everything. And some people, I switch out. I'm a field. I started in the field because I started with a table at Walmart, and I think it's easier to learn it by doing face to face. It's probably easier to learn because people are more forgiving at the kitchen table. If you have to go look something up or call somebody, you can, make small talk. I think starting phone sales off the bat is hard because like you have to learn how to navigate and where's this while someone's going, hello, hello, are you there? you know. So I tell my new agents, it's, I would start off, doing a couple appointments face to face first before you transition to the phone if your phone sales is your, goal. But I train agents to do both. My previous partner that mentored me ran a call center, so I know how to do both and I can train both. Um, I'm licensed in 40, I don't know, 45 states, so I have customers in about 30 of them. And it's easy with our technology today that came out in COVID. It's easy to now enroll people across the country. Before COVID, we had archaic systems where you had to get like wet signatures and stuff, and it was really difficult. Like we were mailing paper applications by UPS and everything, and COVID kind of forced the industry to come into the new century. Now we have text to email, text to enroll, email enrollments. People can go on my URL and enroll themselves if they don't want my help. So it's really become easier to do. I don't call it telesales. I call it remote sales. Because I don't have a call center here in my house, but I can sell remotely. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just kind of the term, but I would agree with you. I know a lot of people use our system, ProspectBoss, to do different telesales because we call it a little, a call center in your own home or
Yeah.
something more comfortable and personalized way of doing it. So, what other cross-selling products do you suggest with Medicare?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of opportunity. So with Medicare Advantage, for example, you can easily cross-sell hospital indemnity and cancer products because those are usually the holds on a Medicare Advantage plan. Usually they have like $200 to $300 a day for day 1 through 6 for a hospital stay. And then usually on the chemotherapy and Part B injection drugs, it's usually 20%. And so you can easily say, when you're doing the presentation, hey, I know that looks like a big number, Summer. I have a solution for that that's only about $25. Remind me after we're done with this to show that to you, okay? And they'll tell me, hey, Joanna, you said there was a solution to that hospital bill. Show that to me before we leave today, And in their mind, they would really rather pay a $25 a month bill than get a $1,600 one and have more protection. I know I would, right? Especially if I think I'm going to go to the hospital at least once a year, right? I've already been to the hospital once a year. So with Medicare Advantage, those are the two products. When you're selling a prescription plans for Medicare are a little bit more costly than employer insurance. And chemotherapy or injectable drugs are not included in the Part D, right? And so it's easier to sell a cancer plan with a prescription plan because cancer medication can be quite expensive. I have a client, $17,000 a month for their cancer plan. And once I showed them what Medicare Part D would do for it, plus a cancer, it was reduced. It's still expensive though. So cancer on that. Med Sup, people love the dental and vision and hearing products because Med Sup does include dental, vision, hearing. And I usually ask them, I said, hey, at your previous employer, did you have dental vision there too? And they say, yes. I said, okay, great. I can do that for you too. And especially if someone's leaving a job, they're used to having all their bundle of benefits, right?
Yeah.
So in a Medicare appointment, you can't sell life insurance, but you can ask about life insurance. So I asked Summer, at your previous job or your current job that you're leaving, did you have life insurance there too? And they say, yeah. I said, well, we're going to need to move that because when you retire, it's going to go away after 30 days. You have to convert it over to, a personal policy. And so I said, I don't do it then. I said, we're going to schedule that for another day because I have to ask you more questions and everything. But I just put it on the calendar because they're my current client. And then if they're leaving a job, I ask them, so Mr. Jones, you've been at Walmart for 30 years. Did you have a retirement plan there too? And normally people say, yeah, I have a 401k or whatever. I said, would you like to talk to one of my colleagues about a plan that doesn't take any of the decreases but participates in all the increases? And they usually say, I would like to talk to somebody about that. And then I put them on the schedule for one of my partners that does annuities. And so you can sell all those products, all those health and life products on a Medicare appointment. Even a Medicare Advantage consumer, you can ask them, do you have any life insurance? What do you have that acts like life insurance? And even Medicare Advantage consumers, even if they choose that route, they still may have a 401k. So I always ask those questions to see how else I can serve them. Because the last thing I want to do is get a phone call saying, ring, ring, Joanna, you did my mom's Medicare, but did she have life insurance? Because she just passed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. When it comes to insurance, there's so many layers, and I hate that the vision, dental, and all that is separate from, typical insurance too. I just
Yeah. They say our eyes and our teeth cost us more. I don't know why.
yeah. I'm about to get my wisdom teeth removed, so I'm like, God, I have insurance for that. Yeah. So this is kind of going off of just how they prospect. Do your agents typically buy leads, or do they create their own?
A hybrid of everything. A lot of them do buy leads, very sorts of leads. I used to buy, Summer, you might laugh at me. I used to buy these direct mail leads, right?
Oh, really?
And I stopped doing direct mail a couple years ago because here in Georgia, especially around election time, my mail went like this, because everybody just throws out all the junk mail, right?
Yeah.
If it doesn't look important, they just threw it out. So I stopped doing the direct mail, and then a lot of us started doing Facebook leads or doing grassroots events and stuff. But I say a little bit of everything works because some people are never going to fill out a lead. Some people are never going to meet me at a senior center, right? Some people are never going to, answer anything, answer the phone, So a little bit of everything works. So we have agents who use dialer systems. We have agents who create their own Facebook ads. We have agents who do grassroots events. I have an agent that, sends out packets of seeds and stuff and gets referrals and stuff. I mean, there's so many ways to do this business. Is whatever you're going to do and do it consistently. That's the whole thing is consistency. Because a lot of agents say, well, I tried that. I can't find any leads. I don't know how to get business because they're not doing anything consistently. If you just made one mail drop and you only got back, 10 leads and you never tried to do anything else, I mean, it's like you just have to be consistent. Same thing with Facebook. Facebook today might not give me any leads on my ad, but if I stop that ad and don't keep trying, I'm not gonna be successful. So we do everything. I do not like calling people and getting screamed at because I have PTSD from Social Security.
The what?
I don't like calling people and getting screamed at because a lot of the call centers have ruined it for us.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're still fighting legislation. A lot of the overseas call centers have, not been compliant with the FCC and everything, and have called Medicare consumers 30, 40 times a day, and they're really just tired of it. So I try to be really respectful when I'm dialing someone to make sure that they opted in to my request, so I could say, hey, you asked me to call you. I'm
Yeah.
not a scammer. I'm not trying to get your social security number or
Yeah.
anything like that. But yeah, there's plenty of ways to get consumers, and especially if you can dial them before they need help or before they mess up and enroll with somebody who might not have their best interest in mind.
There's so many scammers when it comes to selling insurance, especially. So I can see using just the calling method being very tough. So did you have a lot of results with the direct mail in the past? Because I just keep thinking like the commercial, then getting the mail of like, do you need life insurance, health insurance? So did they work before COVID pretty well?
Mm-hmm. So it was a different mindset. You know, when I used to call my life insurance leads, even if they filled it out yesterday, they would say, "Oh, I already took care of that. Oh, I don't need like that. You could just throw them in the river." You know, people with life insurance would give you the most absurd objections. And I wasn't impressed at overcoming them. I was just like, "You just filled this out yesterday," you know. But when I called for Medicare, I would tell them, I was like, "Hey, Summer, I got your request for help, for Medicare help. You said here that, your date of birth is 1934." And they'd be like, "Oh, yes, I need help. I see that there's a commercial on TV that can help me pay for it." And they'll tell you what they need from you. You know,
Mhm.
the problem with Medicare is, like I said, it's not just life insurance. There's so many moving parts. I've helped people who were um incorrectly paying too much for their Part B. Maybe they were making a larger sum of money before and then stopped to reduce their work, and they didn't know that they could tell Social Security and submit proofs. I've helped people do that. I've
Mhm.
helped people apply for Medicaid and get their $164 back in their check. And that's a big thing, especially when your check is under $1,000 and your Medicare is 164. That's like an entire light bill, right?
Yeah.
Or it's a big chunk of money. They're like, "I don't have $164. I don't know how I'm going to pay this," right? And so I've helped people get help with their prescriptions and stuff. People say, "Yeah, my doctor just prescribed me this new medication, Jardiance or whatever, and I don't know how I'm going to pay for it. I need help." And so just listening to people when they say why they filled out the card, right? Because that's the pain point. Why did you fill this card out? What help can I do? Especially if they already have a current plan. All right, you have a current plan. What is your current plan not doing for you that you needed to do? And that's my job, is to uncover what they need so I can figure out how to fix it. A lot
Mhm.
of agents try to fix stuff that they don't know is even broken yet.
Yeah.
But if you find out what is broken, what it's not doing, and sometimes that they might just not know how to use it. So a lot of our job is education. A lot of people don't know how to use their insurance. I got a call from one of my clients, sent their cousin to call me, and she has Medicare and TRICARE, and she just doesn't know how to use it. She doesn't really need my help. I mean, I have a product that could put her in, but right now I just need to teach her how to use her Medicare and TRICARE together. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, insurance is very complicated, so I'm sure people don't know how to use what they purchase, can be overwhelming for them in the beginning, and why you get such absurd answers because most people don't even want to learn anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what are 5 bad habits that unsuccessful or failed insurance agents have?
Ooh, I wasn't prepared for this, but I'll tell you. All right, I think the first bad habit, I don't have it next to me, but they have an empty schedule.
Empty schedule?
Uh-huh. You need to have things to do. Our job, mostly, we talked about this earlier, is prospect and marketing, right?
Mhm.
If you don't have anything to market, anybody to prospect, you're not going to have any consumers. So your job first is to find out how to market. And whether you are setting up a table at a senior center, or volunteering at a food bank, or using a ProspectBoss or a different dialing system, or asking your upline for their aged leads. I mean, there's so many ways to get the business. You have to just be active. You have to actually get out of bed and do some work, you
Yeah,
know? Like, I have agents who go and door knock doctors. I didn't say door knock people, I said door knock doctors, right?
yeah,
There's so many people and so many ways to get business, but you have to move your feet, right? Like, nobody's gonna knock on my door or call my phone and say, "Hi, Joanna. Summer gave me your phone number. I need that Medicare Plan C HMO Humana." I mean, it doesn't work like that. Like, you have to get some business first going. So the first thing is activity. They are sitting there not doing activity, or they're doing the wrong activity, Summer. I have seen agents come into the business, and they're designing their business cards and their website and writing out, what their brochures want me to say from 9 to 5. And those are not 9 to 5 activities. 9 to 5, you need to be prospecting.
Mhm.
You can do your website and business cards at 8 o'clock at night when
Okay.
you can't, call on prospects, right? Or Saturday, Sunday. Those are Saturday, Sunday activities. You don't need to be building a website at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You need to be talking to people who can get you prospects, right?
Right.
So that's the first thing. The second one is not being coachable.
Not being social.
Coachable.
Oh, coachable. Oh, yes.
As a mentor, it's my job to tell you what the roadmap looks like. Okay, Summer, today you need to do your certifications. Now, once your certification is done, I'm going to teach you how to use our quote and enroll system. And I need you to do this. And a lot of people be like, well, Joanna, I have to go to soccer practice. I have to go over here. I don't want to do that. I'll just watch. And they don't do their part, they don't listen to what the steps have to be, because there's steps that have to go, to start. So coachable and listen to what somebody has to say. I was one of those not so coachable. I thought I knew it all, and I got my teeth kicked in a little bit. I thought I could make sales because somebody referred them to me, and then somebody said, "Oh, well, I decided to go with somebody else." And my mentor said, "You didn't ask them for the sale like I told you to.
Mhm.
Before you spend an hour teaching anybody Medicare, Joanna, you need to say, I'm going to spend my time and I'm going to educate you. And in exchange for my time and my expertise, I ask you to do whichever way you decide to go, Summer. I ask you to do the business through my office. Is that fair?" And I had to get uncomfortable and ask that, and just certain things like that. So being coachable. Um, hmm. I mean, there's just so many things to this business that people, managing their finances, that's a big thing. Medicare doesn't pay us the next day like life insurance. A lot of times we get paid the next month, in the middle of the month, or a couple months away. And so you have to learn how to manage your finances and, like we said, sell other products that might pay the mortgage this month faster, like life insurance, dental, hospital indemnity. Those products all pay in the same month, usually the next week, if you can get something paid on issue or paid on draft. Dental insurance, hospital indemnity, they all pay usually the same month. So I tell agents, I'll be like, you need to bundle. It might get uncomfortable because a lot of agents like to be one and done. They just like to, they think that they're going to lose the sale if they offer cancer, hospital indemnity. Or they're afraid to ask for an actual check. A lot of agents get comfortable in the $0 premium of an MAPD, and they're afraid to actually ask for a check. But you're not going to give the consumer everything they need, because they might need a cancer policy. They really might need a hospital indemnity policy. And then you're limiting your sales to just the MA only, so being diversified on that. And then doing their education. Like, not to throw anybody under the bus, but my sister, like I was training my sister, and sometimes training your family is the hardest part.
Yeah, I could
I
see
was like,
that.
Melissa, you really need to attend that carrier training to watch how they're going to enroll. And then I'm not asking you, she's a lawyer, she's a full-time lawyer. So I'm not asking you to come to my training at 2 o'clock, but at least watch the recording so you can see how I did something, And she's learned it, but it's a learning curve. It's because we don't think we need to watch any more training. We think we could just go and sell it like life insurance. It's
Mhm.
not. It's not, and there's so many moving parts. And then asking for help and calling the carrier and talking to the carrier and trying to figure out the problem. You can't be afraid of picking up the phone and saying, "Hi, Joanna, I'm in a house and I don't know what to do." You know, I mean, your most agents are newer and they might not have seen that before. There's scenarios that I have never seen or haven't seen it in 10 years. So yeah.
So you said you train your sister. Is she an agent with you?
Yeah, I have two sisters that are agents now. They well, one of them is disabled, and I got her licensed when I was doing life insurance actually. Because I was like, her name is Abby. And I said, Abby, you could probably do some insurance on days that you feel good. And she has
Mhm.
a really serious disability, but she didn't want to just sit there and watch Maury all day. She wanted to be able to do something.
Yeah.
She has a bachelor's degree. And I think for people who have a disability, and I do have a disability myself, I got injured in the Air Force. I got hit in the chest. And one of the worst things is to not feel like you are valuable to the society, or you don't have anything to wake up and look forward to do.
Mhm.
It's like Groundhog's Day every day when you wake up and
Rom-com, you said?
Groundhog's Day, like when you just wake up and say, okay, what's on TV today? And so people who have a disability, especially if they're, just waiting around, they want something productive to do
Mhm.
and a way to make extra money because disability, if they have gotten approved for disability, usually it's not enough.
Yeah.
And so Abby got licensed and she sells some Medicare with me when she's feeling good, and she's good at it. She's passionate about it. And Melissa, my attorney sister, with law, even though she was making high six figures, after she's done with the case, she doesn't get paid out anymore. There's no renewals in that type of work, right? And one thing I love about insurance, especially Medicare, is we get renewals, and that's why we do the work. Is like because I can sell you today, and I'm gonna get paid on you for years to come as long as I keep in contact with you and make sure that your policy is still the right policy for you.
Mhm.
And my sister saw me taking my parents to Hawaii and Alaska, and she got a little jealous. She's like, all right, I'm gonna do this Medicare thing with you. And she was sending me business, and she's like, well, instead of me sending you the business from my friends, how about you just teach me how to do it myself? I was like, now you're catching on, you
Yeah.
know? And so that's what I'm actually helping her write. One of her friends has a spouse that's turning 65 and has cancer. And so I'm helping her write them today. Um, and she did the research and everything. So I'm really proud of her. Yeah.
That's awesome.
hmm And oh, by the way, you asked about products to sell with policies. It's not a normal policy that I see agents sell all the time, but he's going to get a med sup and a prescription plan, and then he's going to get a home health care plan. And that's not a normal product I see agents do, but because of his cancer, he's going to need someone to come to his house and help out that original Medicare is not going to cover because original Medicare only covers like wound care and stuff at home. They don't cover companion care and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for all that information.
Yep.
So do you have a conference or anything coming up soon?
So I'm not hosting my own conference, but there's more conferences I'm going to be at. So I will
Mhm.
be at Medicare Con in Las Vegas, April 11th and 12th. I will be at Medicarians in Las Vegas. I want to say it's April 24th to the 26th. And then I'm speaking at Alabama AHU, May 2nd and 3rd. And then I'm also speaking at Six Figure Medicare Summit in Salt Lake City, June 9th and 10th, I think it is.
We were thinking about going to Medicare, and I'm not sure if that's still on the table because it's a
Yeah,
nice
this is my
event.
first, well, this is my first time going to the entire conference. I've been to before when they were here in Atlanta, it was called the Med Sup Conference.
Hmm.
Went to their agent day. Um, and it was nice. I actually met a couple agents that were in town at the agent day that I had knew from social media and everything. And once again, networking is key. Like I've made friends across the country that I would otherwise never know or
Yeah,
just from social media. And buying a beer for someone is probably the cheapest way to learn a new marketing technique, right?
that is true. That's true. It's hard to say no to that. A
Mm-hmm.
drink and some networking.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you live in Georgia?
I live right outside of Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, we're down here in the South in Savannah. Yeah, most people that we network with on things like this, they always live on the West Coast or something. That's awesome that you live here too.
Yep.
Yeah, and I noticed there was no time zone intro um
Yeah.
clicks because it's usually like Pacific or Mountain Time or something. I feel like every time we do interviews. Okay, well, You've given us some great information today, Joanna, and we want to thank you for being on our show. So, how can people get in contact with you who would like to learn more? Maybe they want to join your team or be in the industry. And if they were interested in joining your team, how do you have any prerequisites or ways to apply?
Mhm. The best way to get in contact with me is probably email Joanna at topflightagent.com. If they want to schedule an appointment to talk about working together, go into my website, www.topflightagent.com, and schedule an appointment right there on my calendar. It will send you a Zoom link, schedule you on my calendar, and we'll meet and discuss your needs and if we're perfect fit to get married in Medicare. You can also find me on Facebook. I own Medicare Mentors Facebook group. I also own the Insurance Ladies Facebook group. The Insurance Ladies is not just Medicare. We talk about life and health and property and casualty. It's all lines of work. So you can, it's, women, I think, have a unique need in the industry. We're not the majority. And a lot of us have, well, not me, but a lot of them have kids. And, I had a dog that would bark and we're usually the caretakers of the families on top of doing the work and everything. And a lot of us are juggling, annual enrollment with kids and being the homemaker and doing the laundry and and stuff like that. So we discuss things like that in the group and everything, and safety, because that's another concern, especially when you're going to people's houses, how to be safe. Um, but yeah, so Facebook, social media, add me. You can add me, Joanna Wyckoff, on social media. Um, yeah, and my email is probably the best way to get a hold of me.
Okay. Where are you active on social media, like Facebook and?
Facebook is the most active. You can find me on LinkedIn. I usually don't go over there. Facebook is my platform.
Okay. So you don't do Instagram or anything?
So my Instagram is full of pictures of my Hawaii trips and my Alaska trips and everything.
Okay.
Like it's
So not
pictures.
really a business Instagram. It's more
Mhm.
personal.
I find it hard to put business into a picture. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I know like some people have their account, people who are self-employed, sometimes they have their own, account for their business and then maybe,
Yeah.
yeah. So maybe like a top flight agency Instagram and then like having your own or something like that.
I have
But
to figure out how to do that. I haven't, I mean, and this is things that we learn as we grow, right? And
yeah.
one thing that Gary taught me as before we leave, I was discussing with him probably a couple months ago. I was discussing with him how I needed help and I was having trouble, hiring local help. And he put me onto a website, onlinejobs.ph, where I could hire a virtual assistant and everything. And those
Mhm.
are the things that you learn from other people, especially people like Gary, who have been in the industry and have knowledge. I was like, I hired a video editor right after he told me that, you know,
Yeah.
and I send her assignments as I need it. And it's great. Like, it just saves me some time and money,
Mhm.
and there's so many candidates there that need work. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's a good thing. Like, I'm supporting an economy and I'm getting a service done, right?
Yeah, of course.
And so, yeah, so things like that you learn from other people. So always constantly be networking, because you don't know what golden nugget you're going to get from somebody or even make that connection.
Yeah, he's been in the industry a while and he's kind of learned as he's gone too, for sure. And then one thing he does is like we have all the social medias and stuff for our Prospect Boss. Last I really it's the other companies kind of like under one page his, but they're all like, separate in their own entity. So if you ever thought about doing that, that could be helpful for you as well. Okay, well, thank you for being on the show today, and thank you for being compliant with the times and all. And good luck with your upcoming conferences and safe travels.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I will send you the recording if you like it once it's done.
Sure.
And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.